The machine is user-friendly and gives tips to help remember how fast and deep the compression should be. I just worked on the kiosk, and it only took me 5 minutes to learn this life-saving skill. That's just how accessible it is.
This piece of equipment is about removing barriers to learning hands-only CPR.
Be your own best friend. Try and get rid of any water sources that you have on your property.
For many, bug spray is an easy fix to pesky mosquitoes, but Eileen Anderson says she can't wear it because she's allergic. If you do think that you've been bitten by a tick, Ott says it's best to monitor those symptoms, and if you feel sick, head to the doctor. And Deanna, while I was out there this morning, I was bitten by at least a dozen mosquitoes. This is what Bill's training camp looked like back in 2001. The town of Pittsford even threw a parade for the team. Nowadays, training camp looks a little more like this. The excitement for the team from down the thruway is the same, but the stands are a bit more crowded.
At Rochester School number 9 on North Clinton Avenue are starting off the new year right with free haircuts. News 10 NBC's Natalie Faas was there today to meet some of the kids who got new looks. Natalie.
Nikki, you could see how excited the kids were to be able to relax and have their hair cut. While I was there, one of the students mentioned how she hadn't been able to get her hair cut in 2 years. The event was sponsored by the DZO and Gingello Foundation. 2 hairstylists volunteered their time to cut hair throughout the entire school day. There were snacks provided, and youth counselors were also there to chat with the kids about their hopes for the new year as they got their hair done. Jake Bishop, the executive director of the DZO and Gingello Foundation, said that the event is important because it provides students a fresh start.
Everybody's in a great mood here. People feel very confident, they're happy. This is the first week in January. I know some negative things have been happening in Rochester, but this is just a good way to give back and make sure people have a good time and feel good about themselves. This is one less struggle we want parents and kids to worry about this year. Start it off right, look fresh, look cool.
Jake told me that when I arrived at around 10 this morning, they had already seen about a dozen students. Nikki?
I gotta tell you, Natalie, anytime I get a haircut, you do feel fresh and cool.
So good, so good.
And I'm loving your curls today.
Thank you.
Welcome their students back for the fall semester.
Now, for one local college, feeding their students is becoming a lot more inclusive and sustainable. News 10 NBC's Natalie Faas was at RIT this morning to learn about their plant-based food pledge. Natalie.
Brett, Deanna, RIT serves 17,000 meals to their students, faculty, and staff each day. RIT Dining said that its top priority is providing a wide array of accessible food choices for its campus, and that includes plant-based options. It's lunchtime at the Cantina and Grill in RIT's Global Village, and even though the fall semester hasn't begun, it was bustling with students, faculty, and staff looking to grab a bite to eat. RIT has over 16,000 students and 20 different dining options to service them. Don LaFlamme, the executive director of RIT Dining, is in charge of making sure that everyone's dietary needs are met. That includes providing plant-based options.
Over the last several years, we have been growing our options across campus, and up to now, we're at about 25 to 30% plant-based in all of our entrees and in our larger facilities.
The school began their plant-based food initiative back in 2017 and is looking to be 50% plant-based by the end of the 2025 school year.
If we have a grill that serves a beef hamburger, we're going to have a plant-based hamburger by it.
LaFlamme says that providing these options gives diners an opportunity to choose a plant-based meal.
And what we're looking to do is to provide options, right? We're not by any means mandating that somebody has to stop eating meat.
Darcy Jones is the student government president. She says that this is something students have been asking for through their petition service, Paw Prints.
And there's been numerous paw prints over the years about more healthy options on dining and stuff. And whenever upper administration makes a change like this, it really feels like they're listening and they hear the students' concerns and they want to change stuff.
She said even though she is not vegan or vegetarian, she'll occasionally go for that plant-based option.
This past year they added the vegan grill in it, and so randomly I'll just go and I'll try stuff at the vegan grill and it's like really good, so I've added it and it's like a nice change up from what I normally eat on campus.
Other local colleges have options for plant-based students as well. I spoke to Nazareth University and SUNY Brockport. Both say that they are committed to providing meals that best serve their students. Both schools have stations in their dining halls that provide plant-based meals.
About villages in our area disappearing into larger towns. Another one could be joining that long list. A petition has been filed in the village of Wolcott in Wayne County to dissolve the village.
That's right, but there seems to be some friction on whether this is the best plan of action. News 10 NBC's Natalie Faas went to the village today to see how people were feeling. Natalie, what's going on?
Brett, Deanna, it is clear that the people of the village of Wolcott are split on this issue. They have a meeting in about an hour to discuss their feelings and ask questions to the village council and to LaBerge Group, a firm that will be assessing the village to find out what the consequences, positive or negative, could be if they do vote to dissolve. The village of Wolcott lies inside of two towns, Butler and the town of Wolcott. Because of its unique position, the village provides people who live within it many different services.
Here in the village, we provide water, sewer, fire, police, highway, parks, storm sewers, you name it. That's our infrastructure, and there's a huge difference between the two. And like I said, we have to do more with less, and we're pretty good at that. And inherently, you see a lot of the smaller municipalities do run more efficiently, with providing those services. So
the towns that would absorb the village would have to restructure these services. The mayor also says 13 people could lose their jobs, but a petition to dissolve the village was submitted by a resident and did have enough signatures to require a vote. As I've traveled through the village, I've noticed a pattern. People are either really for or very against the dissolution.
One of the biggest considerations in dissolving the village in a lot of people's minds might be the fact that they'll save close to 13% thereabouts on their taxes, because village residents pay taxes in the village and in the town of Wolcott.
But the mayor says just how much tax savings residents could see won't be clear until after the initial study. For some, it's not about the money, but the history.
we have a lot of passionate individuals that reside in our village. There's a lot of history here. You're talking 170 plus years.
Bob Reed is the village barber. His property has been in the village for generations.
This business was a barber shop for 50 years before I moved in. So the man who cut my hair as a little boy is who I bought the shop from. So, I mean, we have roots here. My grandfather was a blacksmith in this town in the early 1900s. So for me, it's family.
At some point before that vote, which is on March 12th, there will be another meeting where LaBerge Group will present the results of their study. That vote will take place on March 12th, and based on what I learned today, it looks like it's going to be close. Deanna?